why sleep is a real productivity hack. So I've gone through like many years where I survived on coffee and energy drinks, and I kind of still survive on coffee. But then I realized when I have a week where I don't really sleep much, it's so hard to concentrate and learn new things, especially now, because right now I'm trying to finish my next IT certification, and I have the hardest time. Like I would spend an hour or two studying materials, and I would just be like, okay, an hour or two has passed, but I haven't learned anything. I know that there's words on this screen, and I know the words are in English, but I don't know what they mean, even though I know what each individual word means. You ever have that happen to you where you're like, I read this and I know what all these words mean by themselves, but together it doesn't mean anything, and I haven't remembered anything I just read. And I think that happens just from not sleeping enough, because there's been times where I've been able to sleep reasonably, like 7 or 8 hours a night for a week, and then when I go to study, I'm like, wow, I'm actually remembering things now. And then, like, besides learning more IT stuff, I'm also learning how to dance better, because my partner loves to do swing dancing, and I like, had no clue at first, but then now I know a little bit, and I'm also studying that to become a better dancer. And yeah, I'd say that it's really important to sleep, because it also, I've heard from like that's just how it affects your mind later on. There's a common pattern where people who deny themselves sleep, you can even like Google this. Years later, they end up having memory issues, and I've seen it myself. Like my partner's mom, which I feel kind of sad for now. She would spend so much time just trying to make everything work for the family. She was a teacher, and she would also have to do all the chores, and also she wanted to work a full-time job, so she was a full-time teacher. She had her lesson plans that she had to work on, grade papers, and then also make sure the laundry's done, dinner is made, and the house is clean, and all the things that have to go along with that. Go grocery shopping. My partner used to dance the hula, so her her mom used to make like sew costumes and put together for her. And yeah, grandpa's mentioned that at times grandma used to just be found sleeping on the floor, like, because she's just so tired she just can't stay up anymore and can't even make it into bed. And now grandma has memory issues, and I don't know if those two are tied together, but after hearing all those stories where people, like celebrities, who are like, I only need 4 hours of sleep a night and I'm fine, and then years later they have Alzheimer's. I just don't want that to happen to me. So I think I don't want it to happen to any of you either. So I think that it's really important to make sleep a priority. Like staying up an hour later, I'm not saying this is what you do, but for myself, staying up an hour later, wasting time on social media, consuming content, or I mean, I appreciate every view I get on this YouTube channel, but I don't think it's worth it to sacrifice sleep for that. And then also just mindlessly watching stuff, like there's so many streaming services now, or even something that you really wanted to watch. I think it's not worth sacrificing the sleep. Just get an extra hour or two of sleep, then spending time doing that. Or I know, like I used to like hanging out with friends, having a few drinks, but I don't think it's worth it. Like to stay up late to do that. Like why stay up till midnight and then have to work at like 8 o'clock the next day, wake up at like 6 o'clock, and I find that when I drink, I don't sleep very well. when instead I can choose to not drink, and I can sleep 8 hours. I can sleep at 10 o'clock, wake up at 6 in the morning, and be well rested. And I think that's just a real productivity hack. Just sleep more, sleep as much as you can. Your body will let you know when you've had enough sleep.